this be one of mine. This is a thinline, double neck, acoustic and electric. Well, electroacoustic's not a... It does have an F hole in it, but it's not really acoustic. You can sort of hear it, I suppose. I would have actually said it's not actually as loud as the electric part when it's not plugged in. Yeah, so I did a video of this before, but now I've actually got it working. I built it about 6 months ago and had a problem with the bridge, and it's one of those things that I just got fed up with it. I tried to fix it and get fed up with it, and it sat in a corner, and basically just looking at it, I was overthinking it. It was dead easy to fix. It really was. So I've now got it working fully. So as you can see, we've got two telecaster necks. I made this from a piece. This is a solid piece of wood in the middle here. So it's kind of like, I'd obviously drew around that shape, and it's hollow. My reason for building this was to try and make a lightweight double neck, because I've tried building a couple before, and they're really heavy, and I had a Chinese copy of the Gibson one, you know, with the 12 string, the SG shape, the Jimmy Page one, and it was absolutely unbearable. You could not play it. It was just, it wasn't so particularly so heavy, it was so neck heavy that it was almost impossible to play. Even sitting down you couldn't play it. This one is significantly lighter. It's kind of hollow all the way down here. No, this bit's solid. I left that bit solid for weight, thinking it would make it go that way. So it's hollow here and all the way down here. Yep, so what I did was I got this piece of, it's actually a bit of kitchen worktop in the middle there, and drew around the shape, cut out all these bits, so it was like a, you could see right through it, and then stuck a piece of wood on the front and a piece of wood on the back. This was a bit of a tester, you know, it was like a prototype, you could call it. I kind of wanted to see whether it would work. See, I've got and you see it's a little bit, I've not really finished it. I don't think I'm going to try and sell it, I can't bother, I'm going to build another one. So I put a wee passive EQ thing in so it's a volume and a tone control for the piezo pickup, which is in below this bridge. You'll notice there's no bridge pins. That's because it's through strung like a telly. A little bit rough there, but it does the job. Yep. So and then this is the electrics bits. So the acoustic has its own output. Here in the black one, I've tried mixing acoustics and electrics before, and it's not that easy. Really, you want 2 amps, but you can do it this way if you've got an AB switch, which I do have one, but I've already packed it away, so it's gone. So if you there's no preamp in the acoustic bit, because I wanted a really thin one that fitted within it. So if you were using an AB pedal, you could run like a volume boost pedal or something like that, or EQ pedal before on this side before it goes into the AB switch to go into your amp, and you should get it. But I mean, acoustics never really sound that good through electric amps anyway, was my thinking. So really what you want to do is play it through an acoustic amp or a PA instead, like for this part. Then the electric guitar, you want to play that through your electric guitar amp. Because it's all I've got just now, the acoustic's going through my bass amp, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's more like an acoustic amp than what an electric amp is, and then the guitar's going through my soft tech. The electric guitar's going through my soft tech. So this has, there's the output for the acoustic, and then you get your sliders for volume and tone. That's the output for the electric. You've got a tone and a volume and a coil split. Just get the one pickup. It's a hot rail, a Telecaster hot rail. It's an R-Tech, I seem to remember. I've had that in a few guitars, but I keep changing my mind to put it into other things. Yeah, so look, it balances. Maybe if you hold it like that, totally, it's easy to play. So even I put the necks as close together as I could possibly manage it. It is, you can slightly feel it in the back of your hand, but the thing is, if your hand does touch it, it doesn't move or make any difference, so it's fine. It's totally fine for open chords, it doesn't hinder you at all. But when you're playing like A-shaped bar chords, it's a little bit close here, but I mean, it doesn't get in the way, you're just aware of it. You can even maybe even lean your hand on it. Unfortunately, the strings on this are 6 months old, so it's not giving it. It's not really getting its full range. So here's the acoustic. Going through the acoustic, the bass amp. jam man which goes into the acoustics going through that, because apparently quite good to an acoustic backing track. So I'm going to try to turn the volume down a bit so it can. Or I could turn off the previous loop first. Let's not bother with that kick drum. Tone up full. Tone at nothing. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is you've got slide it down so it's off, and then turn on the electric guitar. A terrible set of chords to put in. So that's it in single coil mode. That's me using that Zach Wild pedal. I would normally use the Rat, which is a little bit probably more heavy metal than someone who wanted an acoustic and an electric together would want. But then humbucker mode. Track. That's what happens when you've got the electric on and you strum the acoustic. All the sympathetic strings vibrate. See pistol marks. Totally changed it there by the time I put the chord. Strange. Good volume. Try not to get too into this so I don't end up wanting to keep it. I think if nobody buys it, I will just keep it. I have no idea how much to charge for these sort of things. It was a bit of a, you know, a trial and error, and there's a few things that on this that I would change if I was to do it again. Number one is I wouldn't make it out of a door. I mean, it's just a, it's just the outside, the veneer on the outside of the door. This is the door, one of the doors from downstairs, which is quite funny in its own sense, you know, but it's actually probably much harder making it out of a door than it is making it out of actual wood. I could maybe just have gone and blown a tenner on a sheet of wood to put on it, which I'll probably do next time. It'd probably make it worth an awful lot more money. But this has this sort of comedy value. But I mean, it's made of it's hardboard, and like Dan Electro guitars have always been made of hardboard. In fact, I don't think they're actually. I think they're probably is sort of a Dan Electro in its way. Yeah, there's not really much more to say apart from I would put new strings on it. But for gigs and stuff, this would be fantastic. I don't know where you would get a case for it. You'd have to make one, I think. It might fit. No, it's too wide to fit in like a. I don't know. You'd have to find some sort of case for it. But as I said, lightweight, it balances. I've got a stool here, I'm actually going to be still on the screen if I sit down. Yeah, it plays really well sitting down, which the Gibson 12 string and 6 string one doesn't. It was just a nightmare whatever you did. This one's totally fine sitting down. Actually, it sounds weird, but actually it sounds more acoustic when you're playing sitting down, because I'm so used to playing acoustic sitting down. You kind of feel more right strumming it. And you've got to kind of fool your brain into thinking it is an acoustic. It's not an electric with a, you know, it's not an electric guitar, it's an acoustic, so it's got acoustic strings on it. And so you've got to try and remember to play it like an acoustic when you battle the strings, you know. Which you'd never do on an electric. Which means you kind of got to compensate then yourself when you go onto the electric guitar. You've got to play it soft like you would an electric. You can't, you know what I mean? Headstocks don't quite match, so I'm not, one of them's, I think I had to cut, I drew around one of them and cut the other one. Yeah, so this one, the top one used to be some sort of Telecaster and the bottom one wasn't, and I've drawn around it and tried to match it. So you notice that the rosewood boards aren't exactly the same shade and the headstocks aren't exactly the same shade, but it could be tweaked. You know, if you wanted to finish it, as I said, I would go for a bit of varnish around the outside. The top and bottom have been varnished because the door that I cut up was already varnished, so I didn't actually do it. I was going to put my Malko logo on the headstock, but I haven't got down. I'm not going to bother doing that either. It's a prototype, doesn't need it. And this is because I've done a few double necks. I'm kind of aware of the fact that there are problems when you get the two guitars going into the same amp and you're trying to get the volumes to equalise between. Well, and the other ones I've got is like a bass and a guitar, and there really is no way of having a bass and a guitar going through the same output into the same amp. It's just that they're just too different. You have to have the amp set up completely differently. The volumes are way off. This would probably be about the same because it doesn't have there's no preamp. I've actually got a pedal, which I think I use. If you look at my other videos, I did a video of this when I got it, when I couldn't quite get when I built it, when I couldn't quite get the acoustic neck to work properly. I've got like a Zoom unit thing, which is like a preamp and an acoustic simulator, or an acoustic simulator even, and you use the preamp, you can tweak about with it and stuff like that. The same sort of thing, if you stuck it straight at the front of an acoustic amp, you'd have all that control anyway. This has only got like a passive tone control and a volume control, so you really got to set your amp up. But it does sound very acoustical. It's amazing how much more acoustic it sounds when I'm sitting down. Kind of blown me away a wee bit. Yeah, so the acoustic neck is a much fatter neck than the electric one. The electric one's a sort of thin shredder neck, even though it's Well, it's got a Telecaster head on it now. It didn't have so it wasn't from a telly, but. And these strings are totally dead. It's a shame. I should really have. I wish I'd just spent a little bit more time thinking about it, or a bit less time thinking about it, and just gone for the obvious excuse to how to fix the bridge. The problem I had was it wasn't getting full contact. Really easy to fix. It's stupid. But now they're all there. You can hear all the strings, which is good. And you can get up to, I don't know how high can you normally get an acoustic? You can get up to playing, that's me playing like a bass in the 12 frets, up to 12th, 14th, 15th, no problem at all. But when you go higher than that, because of the way it balances, I've got the strap going on there, so you have to kind of, like, but even then, on an acoustic, when are you ever up above, you know, the 15th fret, or do you even have 15 frets? So I wouldn't worry about that. These are things I wasn't worried about because I was thinking it's an acoustic. All the time I play acoustics, I'm open chord strumming, which you can't do in an electric. And I was thinking of putting a switch in that would switch between the two necks. So I mean, it could be pretty easy to do. There wasn't room. I put the coil split in instead because I figured that coil split's more use. I'm just trying to keep it as a relatively simple system. That's amazing. So even if you mute the strings on the electric and have the volume up, it still comes through. A lot of bleeding, and obviously when you play it as well, I think it's actually maybe making it sound feel a bit more acoustic-y when you batter a G chord. It's really vibrating, it's really resonant. I think that's partly to do with a lot of the strings on the other neck are vibrating as well, sort of giving it a boost. But I'm sure there's places where people would love to have an acoustic and an electric. I don't know why it's never really been a big thing. I assume somebody's probably made a double neck acoustic and electric before. I haven't. Or I've never really seen it. It's years ago, the guitarist in my band used to have an Epiphone Chet Atkins, which is like a sort of looked a bit like a Les Paul, and it had the piezo bridge in it, and the old solid body acoustic thing is a great thing. There's not really if you're playing through at a gig, there's not really any point in having a proper hollow one. I mean, obviously you've got arguments that can be had for does an F-hole make it sort of semi-acoustic, and it's kind of, I don't know. The F-hole was just there because I wanted it to be hollow to make it lighter. I've got a double neck telly, which is a telly on the top and a 6-string bass in the bottom, and the thing is so heavy it's ridiculous. You can't really play it standing up because it hurts your back so much. So it's like when you sit down, even with the weight on your leg, after 10 minutes your leg goes dead. So it's like cutting off circulation. So the main point was trying to get it lighter, try to make it playable basically. I think I'll probably be making more of these. I don't know how popular the one I was thinking doing, I was going to put like a single coil pickup, like a magnetic pickup in the acoustic as well, because that's pretty cool when you mix like the piezo and a magnetic. But then you just start going, all right, that's another control plate and more controls, and the same with this is actually routed out for humbucker in there. Well, it's all hollow, but there was going to be a humbucker put in there. And as soon as I put it on, I thought, no, that looks pure amazing. It's stained. Also looks pretty amazing if you put a Telecaster scratch plate on it, which I was thinking of doing, but I kind of like its Spartan look. It's got a something. I've certainly never seen another one or anything even really remotely similar to it. So you get the choice of whether you have. Basically, I would set it up where I would have this guitar set if it was a one neck, and the neck would be right there. So basically, I've got a slightly lower than I would normally have it electric guitar, and a slightly higher than I would normally have it guitar. You don't notice it, you would just get used to it. 10 minutes, no problem at all. Yeah, so this is how light it is. Look, you hold it out with one hand. Yeah, so I suppose I'll do a quick. It's not Product finish, there's like sort of some marker pen in here for when I was drawing around it, which I haven't sanded off yet. It could do with a bit of a sand around the outside. There's some burn marks there, which I really annoyed when I was trying to cut it in to put this in. Obviously, a total nightmare. I had to wire that and put the piezo in through there. So actually, I had to put the piezo into the guitar before I put the top on. It was like, ah. It was an exercise, but I did it and it worked. I noticed there's an extra 2 holes in this. This is all just stuff out my parts box. So it's got an extra 2 holes in there for whatever it was on before, and that's a Squire neck plate, just because that's what my parts box had. I don't think either of the guitars were Squire. They might have been. Yeah, I see I've got different types of tuners on them as well. I've got the sort of the better kind and the not so good kind, but the thing with the not so good kind, they're working, so I'm not bothering changing them. If you really wanted to upgrade them, that would be pretty easy to do. You could spend, if you were a sort of a project person, you know, like don't mind a wee bit of crafty work, a wee bit of varnish or maybe rubbing wax or gun oil or something into the edge would be good. I mean, it's not raw wood. It used to be, it was a butcher's block kitchen worktop, so it is, you know, it's solid and stuff, but you maybe put oil or gun oil or linseed oil or something, whatever you're going to put on it. But as it is just now, fully working, excellently balanced, a little bit tatty round about the holes in the back where I've chipped the veneer, and there's a screw missing. Okay, well, not a lot wrong with it. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted to put like fake bridge pins in, because it kind of looks wrong that they're not there, even though they're not being used because it's, you know, it's too strong, but it kind of makes me want to do that. Oh, that's interesting. The bridge isn't through strung, it's top loaded. See, look, it's quite pretty. So rock on if you want to buy this. This is a Malko original. I might even etch a serial number onto the back of it. It would have to be serial number early. It doesn't even really have a name. I'm calling it double neck thin line, maybe. Don't know. Rock and roll.